So if you want my version of your cosmic hope, I do think that there's a story in which America doesn't just bend towards justice, but it does bend towards a kind of greatness that comes from a kind of diversity and inclusion, one might call it.
But
that has fallen
diversity,
out a bit of favor.
And this is the last demand I'll make of you. Inclusion into what exactly? What view?
Inclusion into what? This is why I love long form interviews. You have to kind of really, I mean, they've been talking for over an hour, and Ross has been trying to pin him down. And this is the most important question to ask.
What vision of the good life? This is where I still feel like the utopianism of your book, while really good as a corrective to despair, lacks something that even the right in its various, sort of dark and black-pilled forms still gets to offer, right? Which is that, the right can say, you see Charlie Kirk say this over and over again, right? In one of the personas that he had was sort of, Christian evangelist and Christian dad, right? Where he would go around and say, look, to young men, he would say, look, politics is important, but you have to get married and you have to go to church and you have to start a family, right? That is a concrete vision of the good life that politics exists to support and technology exists to enrich, right? And in mid-century America, in mid-20th century America, it was connected to a thin but still real sort of Protestant-ish civic religion in which, human beings had an earthly destiny and a heavenly destiny too. And it is impossible for me as a religious person, I'm sorry, not to look at sort of progressivism right now and say, you need something else in the horizon besides saying, we're going to be inclusive and we're going to get rich together with flying cars.
So this is where you're really going to try to pin Ezra Klein down. Give me the vision of the good life. What is the utopia you're driving at? What we want is a politics that serves our faith and our family, because there's something higher than politics to us. This is the basic idea of conservatism, that there's something to conserve that we care about, and that politics we don't want politics to come in and reform that. But if you are going to suggest that there is something better than that, please, we're all ears. We'd love to hear what it is. Like, tell us what this amazing vision is, and not just say, if you keep saying inclusion, belonging, and change. And what does that change? Is the tradition of change, the tradition of change that brings more inclusion and belonging. Inclusion into what, right? Belonging into what? What are we belonging to exactly? Like, we belong to families. We belong to our faith. These are things that are really important to us. We do belong to America, but these other things are what America is designed to give us, because we're not going to always agree on the way to do faith, what is actually highest in the hierarchy. So let's do politics, but let's make sure politics stays in its lane. It's serving much higher ends, and the higher ends we need to be free to pursue on our own. So he pinned Ezra Klein down finally at the end of the interview, and we're going to get the answer to the question from the best spokesperson on the left about what is the answer to this ultimate question about where they actually want to drive us into the good life.
You need to say, so that we can live in some specific way that we are supposed to live. What is that way, Ezra Klein? How then shall we live?
My friend, I am a liberal. I actually believe in creating a space for liberal individual flourishing of different kinds. I don't find it to be some great countercultural thing to say you should have a family. I have 2 children. I talk about it on my show all the time. I am a left pronatalist. I don't believe it has been a great advantage of the rights in politics, that some other people say it's good to be a dad, and nor do I believe it's a great advantage of mine. I think that if you want to see, like, Obama's good at the politics of a family and Pete Buttigieg is better at it than anybody currently on the right, because I think to him, it is a more remarkable thing that he has children and he has a husband than it is to anyone virtually in national politics. So hold on.
But Buttigieg and Obama are both, in liberal, left-wing progressive ways, steeped in the language of
I agree, but
Christianity.
I think what I'm saying to this is that I don't think of this as the part of liberalism right now, or the part of the Democratic Party or the left, whatever you want to call it, that is unsolved for. I don't think that we lack stories. I don't think we lack that vision. I know we are not.
Wow. That is the worst answer I could imagine him saying. They are so lacking a vision. They do not have a story. And when you tell the story, tell these really, really compelling stories about faith and family, they're like, we don't want to be associated with those things. Yes, we can talk about them, like, personally. I am a liberal. I am just for more freedom, more individualism, more change, more progressive. No story, no vision. Like, this is so strange to me. It's so clear. They just spent an hour, and it was so clear that there was a lack of vision. And Ross is trying over and over again, tell me the story, tell me the vision, tell me the good life. Where are you taking us? What do you want? What is that vision? And he can't tell us. And then after he can't tell us, he tells us that they don't need to come up with one. They don't need to believe in one. This is so strange.